What is your legacy? I really want you to think about that question. If you had the opportunity to have a conversation with your great-grandchild, what would you explain to them about the world and the way that it works? What would you tell them about work ethic? What would you tell them about the value of deep and lasting relationships? Today, I'm going to give you a tool to do exactly that. Welcome to the next 24 hours, where I'm going to give you real information you can really use to transform your life and work one day at a time. I'll be your host, Curtis Zimmerman. There are a few things that I do in my life that give me as much joy as when somebody that I've talked to, somebody I've done a VIP day with, somebody that I've worked with, somebody that's a friend of mine, somebody that 6 years ago I encouraged to write a book and totally forgot about it, and then an autographed copy of their book arrives at my office. There are a few things in my life that give me more joy than when that happens. And I want to tell you why. Because all of those people have a voice now. All of those people have a legacy now. All of those people have the best business card in the world for whatever they want the world to give them. Because they took the time to write a book. And you may be thinking, well, I can't write a book. You know, Curtis, I don't have the skills, and I'm not a writer, and I don't have the time. And all those are great excuses. And I would need for you to know that I have excuses too. Like I have dyslexia, and I'm the worst speller in the world, and I was in special ed my whole life. And as I sit in front of this microphone right here, right now, I'm telling you, I am the worst speller you know. And yet, I have 3 or 4 books, and I'm featured with chapters in several other books. And my books have been in thousands and thousands of copies have been made, and they've been distributed all around the planet. And a lot of people have excuses. Stop with the excuses. People do not want me to write books, and people do not read my books because of my sentence structure, because I know where the paragraph should end, and because I know where the comma goes. That's not why people want to read my books. People want to read my books because of my perspective. People want to read my books because of how I have made life give me what I wanted. How I was able to take the crazy makers and the negative people and write them out of my show called my life. And realistically, the challenges it takes as every person goes through this journey, you have things to share as well. So I want to encourage you to understand whatever the journey is you've been on, you have things I want you to feel really comfortable and excited about sharing. Well, this is definitely something that will transform your life one day at a time, and it is writing your book. Now, you can go to lots of different content on the internet about, how to write a book and strategies to write a book. That's not what this is about. Today, what I really want to talk to you about is I want to talk to you about why do you need to write a book? And you may be saying, well, Curtis, I'm not an expert, and nobody's ever asked me for my opinion, and I'm a dull person. Sorry. No. The truth is you are an expert at lots of different things, and you have a lot to share, and you have opinions, whether you're holding them inside or you're willing to share them. And what I want you to do is start thinking about what you're already an expert in. And so I'll give you a quick example. So there's a college student and wants to be a speaker. And I said, well, if you want to be a speaker and you want to go out and impact people's lives, you have to have opinions, and you need to think about writing a book. You need to really think about writing a book. And he says, well, I don't have much life experience. I don't know what I'd really write a book on. And I said, so you're a junior in college. Could you write about what it was like to be a freshman in college? Could you write about what it was like to be a senior in high school and how scary it was to, oh my God, I'm going to go to college. No, I'm not going to go to college. Should I just go to this college or that college? Everything it took, all the mindset it took in your own brain to actually get from high school to college, and then not only go to college, but now you're a junior in college, and you've obviously changed lots of things and made lots of different life choices in order to succeed in college. Could you write about that? Oh, well, of course I could write about that. Okay, have you ever dated anyone in your life? Well, yeah, I did. Okay, great. Was that great? Was it the best relationship in the world? Could you write about that? Did the person, key your car and take a knife and slash your tires? Could you write about that? So it doesn't matter if it's good or it's bad, it's your experience. And what I want you to think about is, in your life, if you're listening to this, what do you have an opinion on? What have you experienced that might help somebody else who is you right now that you experienced 10 years ago? So, boy, if I could talk to myself 10 years back, here's what I would share. A lot of people don't think of that. Now I want to go more globally. So let's pretend you are an expert. Let's pretend you are somebody that does leadership training. Let's pretend that you are somebody that really has a lot to share, but you really, don't have the motivation to do a book, and it seems daunting, and you're not a writer, and you have a lot of excuses. Here's what I would say. If you have a son or a daughter or a niece or a nephew or somebody that you care about, and someday they're going to have a child, and what I want you to think about is when that child grows up, I'm going to go grandchild for most people, and they're 21 years old now, and grandpa's been dead for years. That's you, by the way. And what they're thinking is they're trying to figure out life. They're 21, they're trying to figure out life, and boy, grandpa had some ideas and some things, or grandma had some ideas and some things she did in life and did some traveling or had some world views. I wish I could sit down and talk to them. Well, that's what the book is about. So it's your legacy. What is it that if you could sit down with your grandchild, great-grandchild you're never going to meet, and they're not 4, they're not 13, they're actually 21 to 31, and you're going to sit down and have a real-life conversation with them, what would you share? What would you help them understand and have a deeper understanding of life? What would you like to share with about relationships? What would you like to share with them about work ethic? Whatever that is? These are the kinds of things that I use as motivators for people that think they can't write a book. You can write a book. You do have opinions. There are things that you're already an expert on. You don't have to wait till you retire. That's the worst thing to do. Right now you have a busy life, and what I want you to do is if you're a year away from retirement and you want to go in to do something else or to leave a legacy and talk about the work you've spent your whole life doing, then now is the time to start journaling. Now is the time while you're still at work to write little anecdotes, to interview people about things that you've done in the past, to think about your work-life balance, to go through when it was really great and when it wasn't really great. Once you retire, it's hard to capture all of that back. It's easier to take notes as you go. So I recommend that you start doing that. So that's the motivator. I've helped lots of different people write books, and it's always been a journey, and it's every single one without fail has said it's been a journey and it was totally worth it. So you maybe write a book and it hits, and then you write 13 books. Then again, maybe that's not going to happen, all right? Like me, I'm not going to write 13 books. I might write 5 books because of what I have as a job, but most people that I talk to are going to write 1, maybe 2 books in their entire life. So based on that information, I want you to understand that I don't need for you to be a writer. Let me say that again. I don't need for you to be a writer. I don't need for you to be a layout expert, somebody that's able to design the book and do the cover. I don't need you to do any of that. What I need you to write your book about is your ideas. Somebody wants to read your book because of your point of view. Somebody wants to read your book because of the way you process things. Somebody wants to read your book because you're a chef. Somebody wants to read your book because you're an expert in something. It isn't about, can this person lay this out in story form and make it interesting? There are ghostwriters for that. There are editors for that. So the first thing I want to just take off of your shoulders is this concept that I'm going to write a book, so I'm going to go to a log cabin, and I'm going to be there for 13 months, and I'm going to come out with a beard and a book. No. That's insanity. That's not the way it works, okay? That's not real world anymore. Also, I'm going to get a $150,000, book company that's going to sign me, and then I'm going to do my book. No, you're hallucinating. I don't know if you noticed, the bookstores have all closed. So you don't write a book and then you go out and you be a national bestseller. You go out and you're going to be on, that's disappeared. The only people that are doing that now are people that are already famous, people that have already done something amazing. Those people are able to go and have like a bestseller and go do all. That's not you and that's not me. You want a book as a legacy. You want a book as a tool. You've worked really hard your whole life to figure out ways to do things. And the day you leave your job, all of that knowledge is going to go with you. And that's really sad, and you don't want that to happen. So you're somebody that now is looking at legacy, and you want to be able to go around and turn around and hand somebody, here's the way I made this work. Here's my book. All right? Now, the next thing I want you to do is I want you to think about if you're an old person and you're sitting in a rocking chair and you're looking back on your life and you didn't write your book. You didn't leave something to talk about your perspective of things. You didn't leave a legacy about your leadership style or about the way that you love deeply and the way you want other people to appreciate the world the way you see it. How do you feel? Are you cool with that? You're cool with not having done that? Not, you're an old person and you're in a wheelchair and you don't have many days left on the planet. And when you leave, all of that knowledge and everything you have goes away with you. Are you cool with that? Because if you are, then you're right. You probably don't need to write a book. But I think most people have things to share. So I recommend that you think about that. It's called the rocking chair test. You think about that a little bit. Now, something else I would say is that, this concept of, well, if I write a book, Curtis, then I have to invest all this money and I have to get 5,000 copies. And no. We live in an amazing world today where you can do print on demand. Imagine if you wrote a book and you had it, laid out and you had a ghostwriter and you had an editor and it was really cool. And what you did was you spent, let's just say $1,500 and you got 100 copies. And then you autographed those 100 copies and you gave it to the 100 people that have had the most impact in your life, the people that are your family members, the people that you want to thank for something in the past, or the people that you're getting ready to meet or to help you launch the next aspect of your life in whatever that topic is. That's a very small investment, and you can do that on your own, 100%. It's all doable. It's very simple. Like I said, I'm not here today to take you through all those steps. There's plenty of information about writing your own book, and that's the easy part nowadays, to be honest with you. Also, don't forget that, if you self-publish, then you own the rights, you own all the information. Anything that ever does sell off of that, you get all of the profits from. That's a good thing. Last thing is there are ebooks. So you don't even ever have to even write a book that's in book form. You can do an ebook and you can share it with people and you can make it free on the internet, or you can make it 99 cents, or you could make it $35. So what I'd like to do is start dropping that into your mind. You can do an audio book like I'm doing right now. This could turn into a book if I wanted to. Just do an audio file, and then lots of different services will turn that into actual words on a written page or on your computer. All right, let's talk about the next 24 hours. What I want you to do is I literally want you to go out and I want you to buy a journal. I want you to just go buy a legal pad. It doesn't have to be expensive, okay? Stop putting limitations on things. But I want it to be new and fresh, and I want you to take that, and that's going to be your little thing that you're going to be writing in to write your book. So go out tomorrow and purchase this as a new thing, a fresh thing. Treat yourself with that. Next thing is you're going to take that and you're going to come up with your topic. What are your 15 different things that you can have a 15-minute conversation about? What are those specifically? And each page, at the top of that page, I want you to write what that topic is. I want you to take a minute and really think about, I could have a 15-minute conversation about, collecting comic books, about cars, about being divorced 7 times, whatever it is. Write those 15 things on that page. Now, the very next thing you're going to do is you're going to write one paragraph, just one paragraph on that topic. By tomorrow, before you go to sleep, you purchased this item that you're going to be writing in. You wrote down 15 different things you can have a 15-minute conversation about that you're interested in and passionate about. And then you wrote just one paragraph about that. Now, the next thing I want you to do is I want you to commit for the next week, just 1 week, not your lifetime. The next week, somewhere in your day, you're going to take 15 minutes to pull out this journal, to pull out this legal pad, and you're going to just write one more paragraph. Each day, one more paragraph, one more paragraph. At the end of a week, you're going to know which one of these 15 could I write 5 pages on. And that would be the next thing you would do is you're going to write 5 pages, pick 8 to 10 that you really feel great about, and boy, you're just chomping at the bit to write more about that, and do that next. And then you would do it again and again, and before you know it, you say, well, Curtis, which one of these topics is going to be my book? Well, here's the insight. Guess what? If you do that, and you saw, I have 30 pages on 10 different things, guess what? Here's the newsflash. Your book is finished. Now those are called chapters. See, what you've done is you've given me 10 different chapters on different things you're passionate about, and your book is finished. Now all I want you to do is tell me a little bit about you. That's the intro. Get some other people to say something nice about you. That's the recommendations. And you have your 15 chapters. Give it to a ghostwriter to make it something amazing. Do not edit as you go. Biggest tip I can give you, you're not an editor. I want your ideas. I want them to flow out of you. Do not edit as you write. Just write and write and write and write. Editors will do that and look at that, okay? I am out till next time. Look forward to the next 24 hours of your life. Hey, thank you for listening to the next 24 hours. It would mean a lot to me if you found this content today valuable, that you share it with your friends. Leave me a review. I'd love to hear from you. And if you want to learn more about what I do, it's really simple. Just go to curtiszimmerman.com. Remember, in order to live the dream, you have to make the next 24 hours count. The clock is ticking.